Are you curious about the mysteries of life and death? The Bible, a tapestry of ancient texts, offers profound insights into the human experience. It explores themes of faith, doubt, love, and loss. At its heart lie fundamental questions about our place in the universe and the nature of good and evil. This essay delves into the biblical concepts of heaven and hell, the roles of angels, and the stories of key figures like Moses and Jesus. Their journeys illuminate timeless truths about humanity and our relationship with the divine. Throughout history, humans have grappled with the mysteries of life and death. Where do we go after we die? Is there a higher power guiding our destinies? The Bible provides a framework for understanding these existential questions. It speaks of a realm beyond our own, a spiritual dimension where good and evil clash, and where our choices have eternal consequences. This exploration is not meant to be a literal interpretation, but rather a journey into the symbolic language of faith. We will encounter stories of miracles, sacrifice, and redemption, all woven together to reveal the enduring power of hope and the human search for meaning. Join us as we delve into the rich tapestry of biblical narratives, seeking wisdom and inspiration for our own lives. The Bible presents two contrasting realms, heaven and hell. Heaven is often described as a place of unimaginable beauty and peace. It is the dwelling place of God, a realm of eternal light and joy. Those who have lived righteous lives are promised a place in this paradise where suffering and sorrow cease to exist. In contrast, hell is depicted as a place of darkness and torment. It is a realm of eternal punishment, reserved for those who have rejected God's love and chosen a path of wickedness. The Bible uses vivid imagery to convey the horrors of hell, emphasizing the consequences of sin and the importance of seeking redemption. However, it's important to remember that these descriptions are symbolic in nature. They are meant to convey spiritual truth rather than literal geographical locations. The Bible's message is ultimately one of hope and redemption, urging humanity to turn away from sin and embrace a life of righteousness. Angels play a significant role in biblical narratives. They are celestial beings, messengers of God sent to guide, protect, and deliver messages to humanity. Angels are often depicted as beings of light, possessing great power and wisdom. They serve as intermediaries between the divine and the human, carrying out God's will and offering comfort and guidance to those in need. The Bible describes different types of angels, each with unique roles and appearances. Seraphim, for example, are described as six-winged beings constantly praising God. Cherubim, often depicted with multiple faces and wings, guard sacred places and objects. Archangels, such as Michael and Gabriel, hold positions of authority and are often involved in significant events. While angels are often portrayed as benevolent beings, they are also capable of great power and wrath. The Bible recounts instances where angels act as instruments of God's judgment, bringing plagues upon the wicked and defending the righteous from harm. Their presence serves as a reminder of the constant battle between good and evil and the ultimate triumph of God's will. Section 4. The First Humans. A Story of Choice. The book of Genesis introduces us to Adam and Eve, the first humans created by God. They are placed in the Garden of Eden, a paradise where all their needs are met. God gives them free will, but also warns them against eating fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Tempted by the serpent, a symbol of deceit and temptation, Eve eats the forbidden fruit and shares it with Adam. This act of disobedience has profound consequences. Adam and Eve become aware of their nakedness, experience shame, and are banished from the Garden of Eden. This story explores themes of temptation, free will, and the consequences of sin. The story of Adam and Eve is a powerful allegory for the human condition. It reminds us that we are capable of both great good and great evil. We have the freedom to choose our own paths, but our choices have consequences. The story also introduces the concept of sin as a separation from God, a state of being that requires forgiveness and redemption. Section 5. Moses, a leader, emerges. Moses, a central figure in the Old Testament, leads the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. Born into a time of oppression, Moses is chosen by God to confront the Pharaoh and demand the release of his people. Moses initially hesitates, doubting his own abilities, but God assures him of his presence and support. Moses confronts the Pharaoh, who refuses to acknowledge God's power and refuses to free the Israelites. In response, God unleashes a series of plagues upon Egypt, demonstrating his might and the consequences of defying his will. These plagues, ranging from turning the Nile to blood to unleashing a swarm of locusts, serve as both punishment and a demonstration of God's power over nature. Despite these calamities, the Pharaoh remains obstinate, refusing to release the Israelites. Moses, guided by God, prepares his people for a miraculous escape from Egypt. Their journey out of bondage, known as the Exodus, marks a pivotal moment in biblical history, signifying God's faithfulness to his chosen people and his willingness to liberate them from oppression.